Weygand calls the Battle of France is over. I expect that the Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us. Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island or lose the war. If we can stand up to him, all Europe may be free, and the life of the world may move forward into broad, sunlit uplands. But if we fail, then the whole world, including the United States, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted science. Let us, therefore, brace ourselves to our duties, and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
That was Winston Churchill you just heard. He was preparing British troops for the upcoming battle, the Battle of Britain, which today we will be talking about. I like to call it Bob, by the way. So if you hear me calling it Bob, it means the Battle of Britain. So the battle was quite simple, actually. Germany wanted to take over Britain, and they planned to do so by bombing Britain's airfields, war factories, etc., to clear the way for a seaborne invasion. Germany's plan was foolproof, but they still failed. They had the strength to take over Britain, but they probably just didn't have good enough generals. So today we're going to see why Germany failed and Britain succeeded. Now, Germany had a much bigger advantage over Britain. Britain was an island, so it was easy to cut it off from supplies. Germany's army was 2 times bigger than Britain's, having 3 times as many bombers and twice as many fighters. The only thing Britain was superior in was its navy. Britain had twice as many coastal ships. Germany really had the upper hand. Here with me is my World War II expert, Ellie, who will go into more detail into this amazing battle.
Thank you, Niccolo. Before the planned invasion could go ahead, Germany wanted to gain superiority in the air over the British Royal Air Force. To do this, they launched a massive series of planned assaults from the 10th of July to the 6th of September 1940. The attacks on the RAF during this time could be put into 2 phases. During Phase 1, from the period of 10th of July to the 7th of August 1940, the German Luftwaffe attacked convoys in the Channel and bombed the radar masts on the south coast of Britain. At this stage, the Germans were probing the defences of Britain and getting used to the landscape and the flying environment of the Isle. In effect, a reconnaissance mission. They were looking for weaknesses in the British defence and preparing for the large-scale assault that was about to be launched. Phase 2 was the main attack on the RAF from the 8th of August to the 6th of September. During this time, the Luftwaffe bombed all main airfields of 11 Group, a section of the RAF that was stationed in and around London. This attack was extremely damaging to 11 Group. Because the radar buildings had been almost completely demolished, sometimes the first warning the pilots got were the bombs falling from the sky. By the end of August, the situation in 11 Group had become dire. The maintenance and spare parts equipment were dangerously stretched, and the pilots had to resort to using small civilian airfields because the RAF stations were so damaged. Nevertheless, the pilots and workers of 11 Group carried on, knowing that retreating would lie the country open for an inevitable invasion. It took only one mistake, however, to change the course of the Battle of Britain and, in effect, the war altogether. As he still wanted to keep the option of peace with Britain open, Hitler had banned the bombing of cities during these raids, knowing that an attack on civilians would harden the resolve of the British people. However, during a night raid, one German pilot accidentally bombed a suburb of London. In retaliation, the RAF attacked parts of Berlin, and the Luftwaffe began a full assault on London and other major cities within days. The Blitz had begun, one of the deadliest battles in World War I. After a year of relentless bombing, London was left with over 43,000 people dead, and many landmarks such as Buckingham Palace and St. Paul's Cathedral damaged. However, despite the losses, the British had the upper hand, as the Germans' change of tactics had firstly taken the pressure off the 11 Group air stations and involved the 12 Group, a section of the RAF which, with the organised structure, was a formidable opponent. After the 31st of October, the Germans realised that their invasion was still in its early days, and they postponed the idea. Although the Blitz carried on for another year, the immediate threat to Britain was diminished.
Thank you, Ellie. Well, now that we've heard all about the Battle of Britain, we're going to go back and experience it. Okay, here with me we have the DVX 9000 Time Pro time machine, which we will be using to go back 60 years to the Battle of Britain. Okay, are you ready, Ellie?
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1...
It's pure chaos! Here we are in World War II Britain, and look, the Luftwaffe are coming!
Oh no! The bombing is starting! Here come the bombs! Here chaos! And fire! Death! Blood! Take cover!
Just before we go, here's a conclusion. Germany could have won, but they underestimated the morale of the British people. Join us next time as we talk about the Holocaust.